Hey guys, Jonathan from Mr. Cavalieri here. Today I'm going to answer one of my clients' questions, and that question is, what the hell is a Spalla Camicia? And today I'm going to walk you through it. So basically what a Spalla Camicia is it's this pleating on the actual shoulder. So if you look really closely here, you'll see these like little ripples on the shoulder. This comes from Neapolitan tailoring. And the reason they do this, or how they go about doing this, is what they do is they take a wider sleeve and they tuck it into a smaller sleeve head, and they tuck the actual excess of the sleeve into the top of the shoulder. And what you get is these little ripples in the actual shoulder itself that kind of, for some people, look a little unsightly, but for people who know tailoring and know Southern Italian tailoring specifically, kind of like this idea, right? I like to say it's a bit of a subtle flex. Functionally, what a Spalla Camicia does is it just gives you a little bit more mobility when you're doing this motion, right? Just kind of like stretches the sleeve just a little bit, just so you can, go about, let's say, hugging someone, right? And another thing Italian tailors say that, Italians like to hug, so they cut a relatively high armhole and they add the Spalla Camicia so you can kind of go about doing that without any sort of restriction, right? So this is one style of the Spalla Camicia. This is classified as a waterfall Spalla Camicia. So if you look really closely, what happens here is the shoulder goes down, there's no sleeve head in here, and then just rolls off the actual shoulder itself, right? So the waterfall would basically be referring to this natural graceful line that's kind of happening in this jacket here. That being said, there's one other Spalla Camicia option, and that's going to be a slightly more structured option. Right? So if we take a look at this jacket here, what you'll find is it has the exact same puckering in the actual shoulder. It's the exact same technique in terms of taking a wider sleeve and putting it in a smaller hole. But the main difference here is that there's a little bit more structure in the actual shoulder itself. And because there's a bit more shoulder, what you'll find is this will actually pop up a little bit. Right? So as opposed to this falling off as that waterfall sleeve in the last example, this kind of like puffs up a little bit and kind of almost gives the actual shoulder almost like a bit of a roping silhouette, right? So that it's kind of like almost roping around here. This style is good for people who basically just want a slightly more structured jacket. They like the idea of that Neapolitan silhouette, but they want something that's a little bit more, that has a bit more presence, or just looks a little bit more powerful, right? This option is great for casual. I would say this option is going to be great for something slightly dressier. That being said, both are going to look a little bit more casual for the sake of you having these little pleats in the actual shoulder itself, right? So if you are opting for a Spalla Camicia, this is going to be a jacket that you wear slightly more casually. This isn't going to be something that you do on your wedding day, right? Just because we want things to look really sharp and clean on your wedding day. And this is just, slightly unsightly. That being said, I love them. I do them all the time for guys because we do a lot of Neapolitan style tailoring here at Mr. Cavalieri. So that is what a Spalla Camicia is. If anyone offers you it, now you know exactly what that looks like. Okay guys, thank you for watching. If you have any more questions for me, please leave them in the comments. Please send them through email or through DM, and we will talk soon.